Hi guys, what's up? What's up? Good morning, afternoon. Sorry, dude, it is late today. It's 2 p.m. Holy shit! What happened with the time today? Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Well, hello. Hey, Anders. Hey, feeling cute, rambly. What's up? Hey, Erase. Hello, hello. Hey, Collide. What's up? Ooh, we got a Twitch DJ here. Oh my god, I love that. I don't know how DJs do it. To like stream for so long doing DJ stuff. Like it seems super exhausting. Hey Kenzie, what's up? Exaltio, Cedris. Cold, what's up? Hey Hannah, hey Clavi. Hey Matt, I'm 32 years old, but when I grow up, I want to be as cool as Naguura. I say this daily. Wow, then you're setting very like low goals. That's good. Setting high standards is a bad thing. You should just set really low goals. It's a good one. Yeah, you'll be able to reach this in no time. Hey Flirt Alert, what's up? Hey Yildova, Carvahane, what's up? Nice intro. Thank you. I'm actually in the process of creating a new intro because the intro that I have currently is a little bit maybe too epic. Like it's like it hypes people up and then it's just me sitting here talking. And it's also very, like, World of Warcrafty, and I also want to, like, do more IRL stuff in other games. Hey, Masto, what's up? I'm good, Anders. Hey, Pulse. Hey, Forza, good morning. Hey, Hippo. Hey, Sim. I think a cool, like, IRL highlight intro would be sick. Yeah, I'm trying to work on something like that. Change the font to Comic Sans lower expectations. Hey, Irby. By the way, guys, I'm not sure if you noticed, it's maybe not noticeable that much on camera because it looks just like it's shading. But yesterday when I was making fun of people that go skiing and with their goggles on and then they get a sunburn and they look like raccoons? Do you remember when I was making fun of those people? Yeah. I might have yeah. That was some instant karma right there. that was some immediate karma striking me. Yep. That's my neck now, guys. My face also looks this way a little bit. I just covered it with makeup. Yeah. At least you can't really see it that much if I just put my shirt over here. It looks like that's just my skin color. You know? This is just what my skin looks like, guys. Yeah, who knew that laying in the sun on a snow-covered mountain would do something like that? Oh well. Thankfully, I mean, I was kind of covered from top to bottom, so the fact that it somehow found its way to like that little bit of skin that I was showing between my goggles, my helmet, my long sleeve shirt, just this little part here. Well, and yeah, as I said, my face is also burned a little bit, like here on the sides and under my nose, and a little bit on my nose. It's just I did put some foundation over it, or some powder actually. It's not that bad in my face though. It's mainly just my neck that is really bad. Oh well, I'm gonna have a nice tan line going into the summer, guys. People say they don't get tan in the winter. Well, easy for me. That reminds me of this one time last year. I went to a rave, a local rave, and I was wearing like a fishnet top, and my shoulders were like a little bit sunburned or tanned, and you could see the fishnet on my skin afterwards. It wasn't like super bad, but you could definitely see it. By the way, guys, I uploaded a new YouTube video about the OnlyFans situation, about the characters being resurrected, where I'm explaining what happened and what my opinion is and stuff. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, and if you want to know what happened with the whole OnlyFans thing, then definitely check out the video. It's linked in the chat. We can also watch Soda's.
Check out.
We can also watch Soda's video about it. There's gonna be a guild meeting today, I think. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, guys. I'm reading some comments real quick. Dun, dun. Oh god, there's so many comments on this video. Holy Jesus. I'm not sure if I should be reading these comments. Should I be reading these comments? Oh god, I don't know. I'm unsure. Let's just quickly go over the comments. Don't necessarily have to like answer or like do anything about it, but let's just go through some of the comments, I guess. See what people are saying. All right, let's take a look. Let me change the screen. Yeah, I think that's. Let me open up WoW in the background. Good day. Man, I'm having way too much coffee today, and I'm not regretting a thing, and I'm still gonna drink it all. Bruno, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that a lot. Welcome, welcome. One second. Do you get the full amount of money for Prime? I do, actually. Yeah. That's why. So basically, a normal sub is the same to me as a Prime sub. So the streamer gets the same amount of money, no matter if it's a normal one or a Prime. The big difference with Prime is that it doesn't automatically continue. So, and because Amazon or Twitch is basically paying for it, they are trying very hard for people to not use the Prime sub. you know how a normal subscription gets all of these benefits? If you're subscribing for a long period of time, then you get a discount. If you gift subs, you get discounts, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're trying to have people not use their Prime, right? Because obviously everyone that does not use their Prime is saved money for Blizzard, for Twitch, and for Amazon. So every time somebody uses their Prime, they lose money in a sense, and then they don't tell you to use it again, right? So it doesn't refresh automatically. They don't remind you that your Prime is ready, that kind of stuff. But in the end, it's the same for the streamer, yeah. Primes are actually... I would actually like to know how many Prime subs there are that are unused per month. Like, the amount of money that people are, like, holding on to that they could basically for free give to a streamer. I would like to know how much that is. Because I'm the same. Like, I forgot to use my Prime all the time as well. And obviously, I'm talking about people that are already registered on Twitch, because there's loads of people that have Amazon Prime, but they don't know how Twitch works or what Twitch is. So those people would never even use their Prime anyway. But I would be interested to know how many people that actually use Twitch and have Amazon Prime are, like, letting their Prime go to waste, basically. I would be super interested in that number. It's probably a really high percentage. Good morning, Victor. What's up? Do Prime counts for Partner Plus? I don't think so, Lester, yeah. What I used to do was have, like, a reminder in my calendar to use my Prime, but not every month, but, like, every, like, 35 days or so, or every 33 days. Because sometimes what happens is when you use your Prime, because you were reminded by your app, and then 30 days later, you get another reminder, but then your Prime isn't ready yet, and then you'll forget about it again, right? Because sometimes the Prime is very, like, specific. You cannot reuse your Prime if it hasn't been, like, a full month, right? And sometimes it even goes over a month even. So I used to set reminders that were more than a month by a few days to make sure that when I get the reminder that I can actually use it. Because a lot of the time I get the reminder and then I couldn't actually use it. The ad hitting me in the face always reminds me. Yeah. Hey, Samani, thank you so much for 2 months. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. You can have it. It's probably the first time this year I used it. Thank you so much for your Prime, Samani. Yeah, see, I'm the same. Like, I keep forgetting about these Primes as well, honestly. Like, I mean, I totally get why people forget about it all the time. But thank you so much for your Prime, Samani. Let's say I'm a prime example. You certainly are. Okay, guys, so let's quickly take a look at the comment section for the latest video I uploaded about, like, the OnlyFans controversy about, like, the resurrection that Blizzard did. So I uploaded, like, my opinion about it, and there were quite a few, like, responses. You can see that there's quite a few people that are upset. And I do want to say, I think the people that are upset about this I think it's, like, the loud minority that is very bothered by this. But they are the loudest. Like, I think whenever something like this happens, the small percentage of people that get upset about this, they are seeking these kind of videos to then comment. And I think partially it's the fault of the algorithm, right? Because the algorithm knows that rage bait works and that showing people stuff that angers them is going to make them engage with videos, right? So YouTube knows, oh, somebody, like, commented and hated on, like, the OnlyFans situation. Well, let me recommend more of these videos to this person, right? So I think a lot of the people that are commenting in a negative way, I think they probably are like the minority, but they clearly are upset and emotional about it in a negative way, and they're seeking out these kind of videos to comment their negativity on it, right? So I think a lot of these comments are probably going to be on a negative side, but mainly because of that, what I mentioned. So I don't think that in general people think about this negatively, but I think it's mainly just people that usually don't watch my content that, you know, just got suggested this video. I think so, at least. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people that make a good point. So a lot of people say it should definitely be a rest for all characters that died to the DDoS. All the others that died because some clown was jealous of the streamer event shouldn't be punished for it. And I just wanted to make sure that people know that everyone is getting resurrected. I guess I wasn't really clear in the video. I didn't mention the fact that everyone is getting resurrected. It's not just the OnlyFans players, right? It's everyone that was affected. Everyone who suffered from DDoS attacks should have their characters resurrected. Yeah, so it's like, it's everyone. And somebody's saying it's a slippery slope. Simply put, Microsoft is a business. It is and will always be about money gain versus losses, of course. If they don't roll back how many people, stream viewers cancel their accounts. So I don't think it's that, like, I don't even think canceling your accounts has to be something that needs to be considered, but that would be like the most drastic consequence, I guess. If they roll back only the people affected this one time, then they risk losing the accounts of all players who do not get rollbacks. Either way, revenue will be lost, so the decision is about what will cost them more. I believe that it is cut and dry. If you read the agreement, you must accept in order to play hardcore mode. This subject is covered in that agreement and therefore no rollbacks. Yeah, I guess this person's right that in the agreement that you're agreeing to, it says that under no circumstances, like if there's any kind of server instability, then you're not like entitled to a rollback. Like it says that when you're signing the contract. That doesn't mean that they cannot change that, right? Like if there's something positive, then they can do that even if it doesn't say in the contract. They can't do something negative, right? Like if it says in the terms of service that Blizzard cannot delete your character, and then they go ahead and delete your character, that's obviously like a bad thing to happen to you, and that would not be something that makes sense. But if there's something negative in a contract and they do something positive instead, then I think that's something that people cannot necessarily be upset about, right? I guess that's how I view it as well, at least when it comes to contract. And in the end, Blizzard can do whatever they want. It's not that they can do whatever they want, but Blizzard can, at their discretion, make decisions, and I'm sure that is also written in the contract. I don't know the exact wording of the terms of service and of the contract that you're signing, but I'm sure that somewhere in this contract it says Blizzard can make decisions within their like discretion or whatever. Period. I'm sure it says somewhere. It would make sense. But anyway, moving on. Ooh, this is a lot of text. Jesus Christ. Too long, didn't read. The people siding with this, saying it's okay, it's not okay. Okay, so this is like an angry person. The only reason this happened, there's been a huge number of mishaps caused by DDoS attacks in history of Blizzard games, from loot being lost to characters dying across Diablo and WoW. It's because the people in the lens are streamers. Are you going to retroactively restore all those people's missing items or dead characters? No, question mark. Then don't allow it for people of power and influence all of a sudden now. Stick to your guns or set a rule for all people and long-standing customers. Otherwise, it's completely unfair. Yes, people will hate on me for saying this or complaining too much, whatever it might be. Again, this is one of these people that have this kind of mindset where they say, oh, if something negative happened to me, then other people that have something negative happen to them in the future should not like get some sort of alleviation or help. And I know this is like a broad statement, but there's some people who think this way, and I personally, obviously it depends on the situation, but I personally think this kind of thinking happens all the time, not just in this situation, but like all over the world with real life situations too, even with stuff like politics and whatnot, where people are like, oh my God, I had it bad. So other people that are in the same situation, they should also have it bad, you know? And I do not agree with that point of view at all. And this person is basically saying that. I guess there is a little bit of a... They are also stating that it shouldn't be the streamers that are getting the positive treatment, which I guess that makes it slightly different, right? But still, like in the end, the streamers here in this case were still victims of the DDoS. Right? Like this is still something negative that happened to them, right? The rollback situation feels like there's no perfect solution. Yeah, there really is no perfect solution. Yeah, Blizzard were put in a bad situation because people did something maliciously to ruin other people's fun. I feel like they can't win whatever they do. Yeah, whatever Blizzard does, they can't really win. Yeah, I agree. But anyway, then they say you can't allow rules for a select few and ignore everyone else. Okay, just to take the heat off of a commonly recurring problem from server stability or actually creating proper DDoS protection, allowing for client-side, server-side reading of no inputs disconnect. It's something that should have been addressed a long time ago. Other games have it. Okay, I'm not sure if this person's aware of how this works. I feel like they're simplifying this problem a little bit, and I think it's literally untrue that other games have such a high DDoS protection that they wouldn't get DDoS. I think that's literally just not a thing, right? Even PoE, a game from a company that started later with worse code and old infrastructure, managed to incorporate it. What are they talking about? Like, does anyone know what this person is talking about? Because I don't think it's true that PoE has like a bulletproof DDoS protection. Say no, then go and put your voice forward for some actual good changes instead of just sitting on the sidelines, getting walked over and stepped on, and letting people in a spotlight get freedoms that you aren't privy to. So, okay, so I generally agree with this person saying that if there is a way for Blizzard to actually get DDoS protection that would help everyone, then I think that should be happening. Like, so I personally don't think that that's possible, right? Like, I'm not a person that thinks that DDoS protection is as easy as this person thinks it is, but this person believes so, right? This person here believes that DDoS protection is somehow possible in like a perfect way, and they think that Blizzard can implement it without it being super difficult. If that was the case, then I 100% agree. Obviously, they should be doing that. Now, I think in reality, it's not as easy as this person makes it out to be, because otherwise, why wouldn't Blizzard do it, right? Like I think, logically thinking, if there was a somewhat easy way for Blizzard to implement DDoS protection, then they would. Why wouldn't they? It costs money, yeah, but it also costs them money to get DDoSed. I do understand that it costs money, but something that costs Blizzard money, if it in return saves them money, then they will invest that money if the equation makes sense, right? And obviously, getting DDoS, especially in hardcore servers, is something that will cost them money. So to say that they don't do it because money is kind of like it always has to be in relation, right? If it didn't happen to streamers, there would be no rollback, full stop. I agree. But I don't think it has to do with streamers. At least not... Like, obviously, the people that are involved in OnlyFans are streamers. But if this would have happened and just like a few random streamers would have died, I don't think they would have done this either. I think it specifically had to do with it being OnlyFans, which is a huge event that brought in lots of viewers and basically created this whole community around hardcore and really like made this whole thing popular, right? So I agree that it was because of that. But is that actually a bad thing? I know that people don't like it when others get like treated better, like understand, like that makes sense. But this event, like OnlyFans as a whole, was such a huge event and it was so beneficial to the game overall, which also means that it was beneficial to the community as a whole, right? Because every single time that there's something that is hugely beneficial to the game, it automatically also means that it will affect the player base positively because more people are starting to play the game. Blizzard in the end makes more money, which then in return could mean that they can spend more money on the game and so on, right? So even if you obviously don't get directly affected by this in a positive way, but you certainly get indirectly affected by it, right? Which is something that you should consider. Not to mention the people that are following the events as a viewer, which is also something that I guess you can consider for things like this. Because people that are watching these OnlyFans events and these raids and whatever, these people are entertained by this project. So even though they don't actively play in the event, they also are kind of part of it from the outside, right? Which is something that you can consider. Because if, like people watching the event, they like the thing to continue, right? Every server hosting company in the world has DDoS protection. I think some people think that Blizzard has zero DDoS protection. But obviously Blizzard will have taken some measurements to protect themselves. It's not that anyone can go ahead and like DDoS Blizzards because they're like zero protection or whatever. It's not a 100% solution, yeah. As the text on Twitter/X showed some days ago, DDoS attacks has strength to them, and having better and better protection costs more and more. So at some point, it's not worth it at all. Yeah, I assume that Blizzard has some. I mean, obviously, we don't know. We don't have all the info on the DDoS protection that Blizzard has, but I'm sure they are protecting themselves to a certain degree. Obviously, at some point, DDoS protection is so like. I'm sure they're spending a certain amount of money. And then at some point, it gets so expensive that it wouldn't be worth it for them from a monetary point of view, right? Like, they're not some high security, they're not hosting super high security information that needs to be protected at all costs or people die, Like, in the end, it's still a game, right? So I'm sure they are protecting themselves, but only to a certain degree where it makes sense, right? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. I do also really hope they find those losers that are DDoSing the servers and actually punish them. I do hope so as well. Okay, anyway, so this person is answering here. It says, just sounds like jealousy. I do think they should re-roll all deaths that happened during the duration of the DDoS instead of just those that prove they died from DDoS. But the only people mad about this are people that just don't like streamers. Also, I'm positive that any of the games you're thinking of would get DDoS just as easily by whoever was hitting Blizzard if they wanted to. Yeah, I think so. I think they're right here about the DDoS attack. Like, I very highly doubt that PoE or any other of the games would have been able to survive a DDoS attack from people that really want to DDoS in this case, right? Like, if you have the means and the money and the motivation to start a DDoS attack like this, I assume you can do it for a gaming company. I would assume, at least. I very highly doubt that any of these gaming companies are spending like insane amounts of money to protect themselves. Thank you so much for 19 months, Gastriel. Appreciate that very much. But anyway, just because a DDoS protection exists, which Blizzard certainly has things in place to try to prevent DDoS attacks, doesn't mean someone isn't smart enough to get around the protection. It's the same reason why no anti-cheat software ever has been able to prevent cheating in video games. As long as someone is willing to do it, there will always be a way to bypass the system. Maybe AI could someday fix these problems, but there would likely be another AI made to break that too. That's a good point about the AI, actually. There's another person here that is like, typical, playing favorites with friends. What about everyone else? Yeah. Like, I understand the point of view, but yeah. At the same time, I think people should very much understand, or like, I understand why people hate content creators and streamers and hate the fact that advertisement is beneficial to these companies and that they get favoritism sometimes. I do understand why people hate that. Like, I 100% do. It's such a, like, it's the same reason why people hate influencers sometimes. First of all, why? Because influencers do cringe stuff, obviously. But there's some people who just really just like despise influencers. And I think it is partial. I don't want to necessarily call it jealousy, but it's like, it's not, I don't think that people that hate influence would want to be influencers themselves. Like, I don't think they're jealous as in that they would want to be in their situation, but I think they are jealous in a way where they would like to have these things for free as well. You know what I mean? I think that's the problem. Why does a PoE 2 streamer want to collaborate with me? I'm confused. Anyway. So I do think that the main issue is just people think it's unfair that certain people get stuff for free or that get treated better or whatever. Like, they just don't see why this other person should be treated better than them, right? And I understand the point of view. Oh, I'm sorry, I misclicked. Twitch is bad. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's my point of view, at least. I think some people are just really upset that content creators or something get treated better without thinking of the logical aspect of it. Or maybe some of these people actually understand the logical aspect of it, but they still don't agree. I don't know. Could be either way. Honestly, Blizzard does need to do more to protect their servers from DDoS, but they already do, and the protection does work 99.9% of the time. This level of attack was so big, it would be impossible even if you had the best coverage. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like, I do think that if Blizzard can do more about DDoS protection, especially for hardcore servers, they should do it for sure. But yeah, in the end, I think this particular attack was such a targeted attack that, and they really wanted this, like the people that did that. So I do think that's just going to be hard. Human nature, sadly. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's, and the thing is, obviously, I'm a content creator myself, and my opinion is not really valid, or, I mean, I'm biased, I guess, since I'm a content creator myself, but I think almost all people can, if you really like logically think about it, can understand why like a content creator would be beneficial to a certain company, right? Like that they are more beneficial to a company than like an average player. And I understand it sounds stupid, but because advertisement is just a thing that works. Like, it's just a money thing. It's not even that. Maybe, honestly, maybe Blizzard even fucking hates all of the content creators, you know? But they still treat them beneficially sometimes because they know that that will benefit them in the end. So it's literally just a simple thing where it's like money talks and they just want to make more money. And how do you make more money? Well, by advertisement. And how do you advertise? Well, by giving people that stream your game, by keeping them happy, right? It's really just that simple. Should it be this way? I mean, in the end, I guess not. But that's just like the world we live in, where that's just how private companies work, right? That's literally just how the world works, I guess. So that's just life, yeah. Blackie, thank you so much for 2 months. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's why they didn't invite Soda to the Plunderstorm tournament. I mean, I don't think they specifically did not want to have Soda there. They probably just did not have enough money to offer him, or the fact that they can't invite everyone. Like, every content creator gets invited to these events, they get paid for it, yeah? And depending on how big a content creator is, you have to pay them more, of course. And they probably just have a certain amount of budget that they are spending, and they allocate it depending on... Because if they have a certain budget that they can spend on a Plunderstorm tournament, but then one streamer takes up 80% of the budget because they're such a big streamer, then sometimes they might just decide to not invite the big streamers and just go with like some smaller ones to like make sure they can space out their budget a little bit more, to have a bunch of like smaller creators, but overall have like more coverage. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't think that the Soda thing had anything to do with them not valuing Soda. I think it just, if they could have gotten Soda for cheap, they probably would have, right? But that's just like a monetary like situation. They can't invite every streamer to the Plunderstorm event. They can't spend that much money on it. They needed the Temu soda. Yeah, they couldn't afford the actual soda, so they just went with a bunch of Wish sodas. Anyway, let's see. Blizzard probably had to resurrect it, to be fair, or else it would have sent a message that they don't care about DDoS. I'm not sure how it works, but if they go back, will people lose progress? Let's say if someone outside of Strain got a legendary insane drop and this is now rolled back, it would suck for that person. Actually, I don't know 100% how they did the resurrects, like the revives. I'm not sure if the character was rolled back to a certain time, or if it was literally just like right before they died for everyone. I don't know about that. No controversy, people who are complaining can be safely ignored. Now, will this be a win for everybody? The rollback is fine, but means little if the DDoS can't or won't be stopped. Again, I don't think DDoS can be stopped, so... At least not like that, like 100%, right? So... If you cannot solve the issue, then treating the symptoms is the best you can do, right? So I think this person is just not aware of the fact that DDoS cannot be 100% prevented. You got DDoS because you are all Muppets and Bliss are so bad. One of the Sims was like, oh, we should probably fix that problem. Congrats to it. Wow, we have a WoW hater on here. man, this person, I feel bad for them. Look at this person. This person hates WoW so much, but at the same time, they love it and they're so miserable. Like, this person is watching WoW videos and WoW content creators, but they hate World of Warcraft. He's one of these, like, hate watcher type people. Stop making it a big deal. It's WoW. It still plays and looks like shit. Trust me, I'd rather watch Bellular talk lore than play that shit any longer. Oh, no. Oh, these are like different videos now. Okay, these are different videos. Alright, well, I don't know. In the end, I think it's all pretty positive. So, again, I think most comments were somewhat negative. I mean, there were some constructive comments as well. Just like, you know, you can be against a subject like this as long as you're like stating in a constructive comment. I personally am not against it at all. But honestly, the overall comment section is pretty civil so far. It's not that bad. Some, of course, agree with me or disagree with Blizzard's decision, but that's obviously fine. Thank you so much for gifting us out to Hair Clock Sim. I appreciate that so much. I agree, never Newt. So, let's open the vault, guys. Are you ready? Let's see what kind of item we're getting today. It better be an upgrade. Otherwise, I quit the game. This shitty game that no one likes anyway. I'm gonna delete my character and watch a Bellular video. Not crashing in the dark. So, okay, let me pour some coffee before we go. Oh no, Fenrir. Alright, let's do it. I'm doing it. Wish me luck. Wait, I'm actually lagging? Holy shit. Ah, I might have angered the DDoSers, guys. Oh god. Okay, we're fine. Oh no. It's this trinket. I think this string is shit. Fuck, guys. I don't think we need to shrink it. Well, shit. The only thing I could need, I guess, is these shoulders. Wait, aren't shoulders off-piece even? Fuck. Which off-piece do you want? Shit, what are shoulders? I think shoulders might be off-piece even. I even get the bad set. Yeah, crit mastery, actually not that. It's not that bad. I actually want gloves off piece. I mean, and I do only have champion gloves, so maybe... Oh, and avoidance gloves. Ooh. Big. Huh. Maybe just go with this and, like, catalyze these shoulders. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do. Can we get a rollback for Naguura's vault? I could just log on PTR and open my vault on PTR. Dude, for a second I thought I took the trinket on accident. Whew. So... Dun, dun. Alright, let's see him. Nice. Now we have 2 myth pieces and 2 hero. Huh? Oh. What the hell? I thought they disappeared for a second. Man, I still have such shitty trinkets though, man. I wish I could replace these trinkets. Also, I don't know if I should use the avoidance ones or not. You know what? I think I'm gonna sim this real quick, but with different talents. Why didn't this change to a loons? They back the UI again. Okay, this should work now. So, let's try this. Oh, really, Arvia? Oh, shit. I should do that, I guess. Oh, that's sick. Can it also be in plus, or does it have to be something that isn't in plus? Let's try all of these different ones. So this is champion. We don't want this. This is hero, hero, hero. Okay, and then we have them all go to... Doesn't matter. They just have to be the same. 58. 58. 58. No chance the item for a weekly quest isn't something you already have from raid. You know I don't raid, yeah? I could literally get a house of cards in theory. Which I assume is better than any of the trinkets I have by quite a big margin. But does it work with M+? Oh, M+ only. Ah, nice. Let's go and take that quest real quick then.
You are
oh, can we craft an item today as well? How many sparks do we have now? We should be able to make a spark now, right?
my faith.
So I could craft
Be strong, my friend. Your aid brings hope to us all.
I could craft what is it called? Or did I already craft it? Oh no, wait, did I already craft it? No, I didn't, right? No. Oh no, I did. Oh, but I crafted an old one. Yeah, I need to craft a new one. True. Did I take the quest now? I don't think I did. Where is it? Or did I? Never knew it. Agreed, though. Agreed. I did take the quest. Okay, good. Oh, there. Weekly events. Okay. So let me see if my raid bots tell me what to do. Tell me to equip the haste mastery ones. Okay. Oh, I think... Let's see what the difference is. How big is the difference? So it's haste mastery. Or these ones. Okay, 0.9% seems kind of big. I guess I just really want a lot of haste, apparently. Well, anyway, I guess we're going with the haste ones. So,
much to be done.
Can we upgrade something? What do I want to upgrade? Let's go with this. Oh, no, wait. Maybe I should save some of my crests for a craft. How many do I need? 60? Yeah, maybe I should save some. I can use rune crests, though. Okay. Very good, very good. My cloak is so low. Oh, wait.
We are united in purpose.
I can upgrade this for free. A little, at least.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Okay, I'm good. Alright, guys. It is time to play 7+. These shoulders kind of fit to my transmog. Somehow. They're not as pretty as my actual shoulders, though.
Punches, lucky doos and root.
So.
To all friends of the Grummels.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. By the way, tomorrow I go sledding. I think it's actually going to be really nice weather tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'm going to double check the weather again. Just to make sure. And it does say it's supposed to rain at some point, but in the evening. Okay, it says it's like clear sky up until like 4 p.m. or something. So I think we might be good. The emote slash has been added to the chat. Good thinking, Kuros. Good thinking. What dungeon do we need for score? We need Floodgate, Motherlode. Let's just do Rookery, Motherlode, Floodgate, and maybe also Priory. Yeah, let's try this. It would be nice if it was actually 14. They need Bloodlust, I guess. They also need Bloodlust. Shit. We're getting 20 centimeters of snow today. Really? Damn. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think we're gonna get any more snow at all. I mean, it's possible sometimes. Sometimes it ends up getting really warm, and then, like, at the end of April, it starts snowing randomly. That does happen sometimes. The early spring blizzard, yeah. You're getting snowing out of nowhere. And it always sucks because you're already like in spring mood. You know, when it gets really warm and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, it's time to go outside. It's time to do like outdoor things. And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, snow. Snow and cold. And everyone already turned off their heating. And now you're freezing. Yeah, Jarlin, yeah. Yeah. I'm currently in the process of preparing, like, the balcony and the garden furniture and stuff. So I really hope it does not snow anymore. So now that they changed, now that we got some changes, class changes, how does it affect the meta? I think Tattles made a video about it. I want to hear his prediction. Or did he not? Oh, he did.
Capelli grassi e pesanti dopo il balsamo? Ora non più con la nuova generazione di balsami Pantene. La tua dose quotidiana di nutrimento con formula Provia ad assorbimento rapido ripara senza pesantire. Così leggero che puoi usarlo anche senza risciacquo. Addio effetto unto e capelli piatti. Sì, capelli sani. Il 95% dei consumatori già lo ama.
This is a gem. Lipton.
All right,
There
welcome
we go.
to This Week in Mythic Plus, and we have a lot to discuss this week. As class tuning has occurred, major class tuning hit the realms, you know, right at time of recording this, at least on NA, and there's also the Mythic Plus titles that came out that have had some controversy. So let's take a second to actually talk about what we've seen this week so far in Mythic Plus.
Controversy,
And talk about
I
some of the
know.
big winners and losers in terms of, just from a Mythic Plus perspective. There was a couple of the most meta specializations that were hit in class tuning. Vengeance Demon Hunter getting deflecting spikes, increased chance to parry. That's been reduced to 10%, was previously 15%. Largely irrelevant Nerf Vengeance Demon Hunter is mostly immortal. This does end up equating to a little bit more than 5% parry from my understanding, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. On the other side of things, Fire Mage, all damage dealt reduced by 3%. We were already seeing a lot of Fire Mage being play. I suspect that they weren't
Fire
3%
Mage was
the best.
nerfed?
They were just one of the better
I didn't
specializations.
even notice.
Beyond that, a couple of specializations that got buffs that were pretty good. Moonkin is excellent. You're seeing it a lot in a lot of the
nice.
top runs. Baluster getting
Get
a
invited.
pretty sizable single target buff around, probably around like 5 to 7% on single target. It kind of depends on the situation, kind of depends on your talents a little bit.
Kind of sucks when
But a
a
single target
5 or
buff
6%
nonetheless, it
buff
doesn't
of
really
0
affect
is still
Mythic Plus
0.
too much, but it's going to make them
Now, we'll
definitely
see.
more
I think
competitive
it's
on
actually
single
gonna be
target where they
pretty
were
good.
lacking substantially. Dev evoked
Oh,
for
they
catching
got
5%
invited
buff.
feeling, yeah.
This is
that
a
makes
huge deal. I
sense.
think that Dev was kind of creeping up. I think that Kess is actually doing some pretty
So
high
this was
keys on
Brokery.
Dev. I don't think Dev is like the best specialization in the game by any means, but I think that Dev was already proving that it could kind of be competitive.
Yeah, Dev was
and now with
pretty
another
good in
5%
Plus
on top
from
of that,
what I
that
can-
makes that specialization
what
a
I
lot
saw.
better. Very
buffed
close to some of
them.
the top
Interesting.
tier specializations. You also had, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, Ellie Shaman getting buffed. Now, Ellie Shaman isn't necessarily something that was super popular, but it's actually very, very good. You do see it played a little bit in China, and in general, it just does a ton of damage.
They buffed
Now,
Elemental
most
Shaman?
of the damage that it's gaining are on
Interesting.
abilities that aren't really pressed in Mythic Plus.
Oh, I
So
see,
it ends up
okay.
equating to maybe around a 1 to 2% damage gain for Mythic Plus specifically. It was way more of a
Still kinda
raid-focused buff,
strange,
which
though.
makes sense. Ellie sucked in raid, but around a 2% buff for Mythic Plus is not really something to scoff
Well,
at. We also have
okay.
the 2 best healers getting nerfed this week with Disciplined Priest and Mistweaver Monk. Reading through these, this is basically purely just going to bring down Mistweaver Monk's damage, not really hit their HPS at all. Maybe whenever they're pressing Spinning Crane Kick, their damage is going to go
What
up.
do I have to
But they
do
weren't
to
pressing
get
Spinning Crane
the-
Kick until, like, I don't even know.
So let me mute titles for a sec. What do I have to do to get the spark this week? Like what's the weekly quest? The Undermine thingy? Do I have the quest? World Soul Dungeons? This one? No. Weekend. Should have too many quests. Oh, you choose your own. Will quest and Undermine. Okay, then I have to go to Undermine, I guess. So. Forever young.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, it's not my key.
Thank the Titans you are here. The Storm Perch has been breached, and the Storm Riders corrupted.
Frontal.
I think I should always double check first who else has like the barrel trinket
Frontal.
before I start. A key like this, just to see if I have to kill them myself or if other people are gonna kill them. Or if I might kill other people's barrels on accident. Wait, did Unholy DK get any changes? Did they get like
Frontal.
buffed or nerfed or anything like that? No changes? Okay.
What is that orb? It's radiating dark energy, and it's affecting. While you go to the roosts, I will distract them here. We can.
Oh yeah, Frost got buffed, yeah. Wait, we just lost it. What?
The title, the throne. It should have been mine, Pilgrim. You never deserve to be Stormward.
I guess we forgot to last in the first
Your
pull. Fuck!
survival wasn't necessary.
Hunter? I mean, I see them in like high keys time to see hunters. Just, some of them, they're not like in every key though, I guess. Also, hello Ace, what's up? How you doing? Hey Kate. Hey
Defensive.
Merdukas, thank you very much for the 25. What's up? Good luck in a dungeon. Thank you.
Defensive. Defensive.
Just knocked them out of my solar beam. Oh well. Hey Sasuku, your altitude looks elite. GG, thank you so much. I'm so glad you liked it too. I'm also really happy with it. What does this buff do that this guy casts? It's actually... I'm gonna have to look it up before I dispel it next time. Why does it always focus me? Stop it! Oh wow.
Defensive.
Damage should increase by 20%, attack speed. Okay, so it's just bad. So it should be dispelled. It's not something like Kiss Curse debuff or something.
Defensive.
Oh, wow. Hey, DJ Orser, I'm glad you like the player profile. I'm also really happy with it. I do think it's pretty clean. Look at the Fury Balloon, it's just so slow. Where's it going? It's going into the ground. My Fury Balloon is like, I'm out of here. Oh, guess the boss spawned on me. My bad. Guys, I'm currently struggling because, you know, it's springtime starting soon and I'm so excited about cycling. And I want to buy a bike, a proper one, because I don't have a proper one. For like real life streams and stuff as well. The problem is I don't know which bike to buy, and I'm not sure. I'm currently struggling to know if you should buy like a straight bar or like a curved bar. You know, like you know how gravel bikes and these kind of what's it called, like road bikes, they usually have like a curved handlebar, and I just don't know if I want a straight one or a curved one. I only ever had a straight one. I never had a curved one. So I don't know if I like the curved ones. Apparently there's gravel bikes that do have straight ones as well. There's one, like a second-hand one, that they're selling in South Tyrol. I think that one might be a little bit too big for me, potentially. It's size S, and I think I need size XS, but I'm not sure. But there would be a gravel bike they're selling that has like a straight bar around here, like a second-hand thing. And it's also purple.
Curse it. Curse it.
God, it hurts. Have a flat bar? Oh, really? If I had the budget, I would have bought one with drops, though. Oh, really? But I've ridden it a ton regardless. I don't know, like... I guess the reason why maybe I would want a straight bar is maybe for, like, stability reasons. And for, like, streaming stuff. Because when I'm streaming, I want to attach stuff onto my handlebar. And there would be a camera as well, of course, that is like looking at stuff. And I think if I'm like leaned forward too much, like, cause when you, I don't know, like it's hard to tell. I guess I could go like with an in-between. Like there are certain handlebars that are curved, but also like go upward as well. And they're like slightly angled out. So you can hold on to the top of it as well. So if you don't want to like lean all the way forward, you can also like sit up a little bit and like hold onto like the top that goes a bit out. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing, like it affects your riding position, right? Like that's the thing. I don't know. It's hard. I'm excited for the cycling streams. I really enjoyed your hiking ones. I'm also super excited to figure out my cycling setup. I already ordered a bunch of stuff. Like cycling, like attachments for my bike and stuff. So I can attach the camera and stuff properly. Oh,
Your
fuck!
survival wasn't necessary.
I might even be able to get like a back POV, you know, like where you can see me from the front, which I think is like a really cool POV for cycling. And it's also cool to see the other way, but yeah. I did buy a mount. But I'm not really sure exactly how we'll attach the camera. I have a mount where I can probably do both though. I have a mount where I can attach a selfie stick to it and then have the camera go out in front to then film back. Which obviously is a little bit... It needs to be a very stable selfie stick. But I do have a really stable one from DJI, so that should technically work. And then if I just want to attach the camera onto it directly without the selfie stick, then that should work too. Just want to give it to the tank again, right? Yeah. Oh shit. I do have another rest. And I need some other bike attachments because I need to be able to like put the battery in the cable somewhere and stuff. But that one shouldn't be that big of a deal. Can just use these like bike bags. I already have some of those. I also have a drone now. I'm so excited to try my drone finally. I've had the drone for like a week now. The thing is, I need to register it and I need to try it out as well. So this weekend, I'm gonna practice drone flying. I would love to bring the drone tomorrow already for the sledding stream. But I have to try it first. I've never flown a drone before. So I'm gonna make sure that I know how to actually operate a drone, and I also need to register it as well.
My strength prevails. Your death is my directive.
I should give it to the tank. Whatever. Actually, maybe this is good. Because it overlaps with this jump now. Alright, good, good.
Dodge.
Hey Tashi, good morning, what's up?
Dodge.
I do not like that it feels darker and colder as we go down. But there are more survivors. What is that? The lift is out. If we want to keep going, We will have to go down the... We have to take it down.
Shut down cooldowns. Yeah, I know, Broham. You can actually fall on the rim and die. I've seen people die there before. I'm predicting you will fly the drone right into yourself at least once. That is definitely very possible. As long as I only fly the drone into myself rather than other people, then I'm gonna be fine.
Defensive.
So
Dodge.
man, I start dotting everything, and then when I'm done dotting, everything's dead. These goddamn civilians ruining my DPS charts.
Dodge. Dodge.
Am I gonna be close? Yeah, it looks a bit close for sure.
Dodge. Dodge.
Nice interrupt, thank you.
Dodge. Defensive. Defensive. Defensive.
Wait, shit, I don't understand the lore. Okay. I didn't understand the joke.
Dodge. Dodge.
Capri-Sun, speaking of Capri-Sun, my friend gifted me Capri-Suns. I need to drink it. Well, one Capri-Sun. I need to drink it. What's your favorite Capri-Sun?
Defensive. Defensive. Defensive.
Wow.
Defensive. Defensive.
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
Peach! There's a peach one? Did I take this? I should not take it. I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but... We do have less for the first phase, though.
Dot. Defensive. Break crystals.
Some of them already said GG no time. Could be true. Not sure. Just do damage.
Phased.
Just do big damage, guys.
Defensive.
I mean, I did some big
Break
blasting right
crystals.
there. There's some major blasts going on.
Dot.
You could call me a blastologist, if you will.
Defensive. Break crystals. Phased.
Okay, some more blast. Wait, you're not hitting this one. I'm here, I'm here. Don't go, don't go. Okay. One minute. Maybe? I don't have any more cooldowns though. I'm out of cooldowns now. This might be a bit difficult.
Defensive. Break crystals. Phased.
I'll go. I don't have a lot of damage here. Shit. Oh, fuck me. Shit. Well, close. We tried our best.
Dot.
Why smoke when you can blast?
Cursed.
Very good point, very good point.
Defensive. Break crystals. Dot. Phased.
Why are we not breaking it, guys? Okay, well. Something, I guess. Is Mookin bad or? Whoa, why? Actually, it's true, Mookin is bad and deserves a buff. Another one. I 100% agree. Buff me. Nice try, GG's. The song's too sad. We have to... What are we listening to? What about... What about this? This is a vibe. I do like Tate. She's a cutie pie. I know all of her songs because of my wife. Good. How does your hair always look so cute? Up, I look like a disheveled netball player. That is hilarious, but the thing is, it looks cute on camera, but trust me, it looks disheveled in real life too. Because I have short hair, so like in the back, for example, I have to put it up like with a... It's like, I know it just falls down, but it keeps falling down anyway, so yeah. The one thing I do don't like, I don't know if you have like bangs in the front or like shorter hair in the front. Because one thing that I started doing is just like not put a lot of my hair from the front into my bun. So basically, I have some strands of hair that like framing my face that I just like keep out. And it's always like a triangle. I looked at the hairdresser doing this. Because the way, okay, so I looked at the hairdresser, how she was cutting my front hair, like the hair that is in front of your face, basically, that is framing your face. The way they cut it is by like taking a triangle, like this, like from like a certain point of your hat, like down like this, right? They take that part of the hair and then they cut the bangs and whatever else it is that you have, like frame, shaping, face kind of hair, yeah? And then I was thinking, well, if that's the hair that is supposed to be framing my face, then I should also just like leave it out when I do my, you know, my updos, I guess. It depends. Because some people look really cute if they take all of their hair out of their face, right? But I kind of stopped doing that because, I don't know. Sometimes I still do it when my hair is annoying, but... Like some people just look really cute when they just like have this like super sleek kind of hairdo or hair up. But I personally think it looks better if I just have the hair out. And especially if I wear a headset as well, because if I have all of my hair like back, then my headset is like on top of that part. And if I have my headset like this, it's just kind of like exactly where I part my hair. That's where my headset is. So it's like, I don't know. But I personally don't like the slick back look on me. What I used to do is like I did a slick back, or not a slick, but like I put all of my hair back, and then I like took out some strands with my fingers, you know? But then that kind of started looking kind of weird. I looked like Legolas when the hair is a bit longer. Because if you have like somewhat like baby hairs or whatever, then it looks kind of cute to take them out. But sometimes I took a strand and then it was like too long, and then it looked like Legolas. So I was thinking I might as well just like take that front bit out completely. Yeah, if the strands are too long, it looks weird when you take them out, yeah. And then what I do as well with the hair in front, because sometimes I take out this hair and it just looks shit. So I have this like hair, what's it called? Like it's like it's a blow dryer, but in the shape of a brush. Like these round brushes that are like a hair dryer as well. They're not that expensive. I think I bought mine for like 40 euros from Amazon. No, it's not a diffuser. Round brush hair dryer. I think it was from Remington, actually. Or? Remington. Oh, Revlon is what it's called. Revlon. It's this one. So it's basically like a round brush, but it also dries your hair. So, I mean, I like this in general. They're kind of nice. But sometimes what I do when this front hair looks shit is I put my hair up in like the bun, right? While taking out the front. And then I like put some like water onto my front bit hair here to like make sure it's not like fully dry. And then I just take this round brush and I just like, you know, fix my hair basically with the round brush. First, I like put it up to give it some volume, and then I just like use it like sideways to kind of have it curve out a little bit at the bottom, you know? And it usually works pretty well. So it doesn't like flat look like, you know, which it tends to do. A friend honestly thought he was a chick. He asked us who that hot archer is in Lord of the Rings, and we thought he meant the actual chick till he elaborated, and we realized he was talking about Legolas. Oh, that's so good. I love that. "10 years bald, can't understand." It took me a while to figure out the technique with this round brush though, with this blow dryer. It is, I mean, it's not hard to blow dry your hair, like if you just do it upwards or whatever. But to do like the front bit, that one took me a little while. There was this one lady that has like super gorgeous hair that had a tutorial, and I kind of did it the way she did it. Oh my god, I need to find her now. She had the most gorgeous hair. What are they called? Round brush? I don't know. Round brush. Hair dryer. What shit? Blow dryer brush. There we go. Blow dryer brush. Curtain bangs. God, I need to find this lady. There! Chloe Jillian. Okay, first we have to watch advertisements.
Sentiti sensuale come mai prima d'ora con il nuovo reggiseno tenese. Intimissimi.
Intimissimi. Look at this lady. She has gorgeous hair. Look at that. Right?
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to style curtain bangs. So we're going to jump right into it.
Okay, well anyway, you gotta watch the whole thing. But the way she does the front... Oh wait, she doesn't even have a round brush. It is nicer with a round brush though. Or easier, I guess, is the thing. So I don't do this bit here. Like, she does the thing where she... like makes it go a little bit forward. I don't do that. I think it looks kind of weird on me because I don't have enough hair to make it like look good. So I actually comb it backwards, but like up. like I like to take the brush and like comb it like upwards, but like from the front rather than like the back like she does. Yeah, like this. Kind of like this. But this is how she does the sideways thing. That's kind of what I do as well. Wait. Okay, not like this.
Shape that I like. I go ahead and blow dry the rest of my hair, and then I come back always after I blow dry.
This is what she does here. I do this as well. So like I comb it sideways, but then I like kind of like go down to make sure that it like curves like this. It's kind of strange. You need to try it a
rest of
bit.
my hair just to reshape them
kinda
to
like
make sure
this.
they're laying how I want with the blow dryer. And I do have another
Yeah, and then they fall like sideways like this. It's kind of nice.
video that I filmed coming on how to give yourself a blowout. So if you want to know how
Look
I
how
blow
cute
dry
her bangs are, man. I wish dude, my friend Marlies, she has like the longest and thickest hair ever. Yeah, she has so much hair. It's crazy. And they came to my apartment last weekend because we invited them for like frühshoppen. So she arrived and she had like a half updo where she had like the top half of her hair she had it put back in a bun. And the rest of her hair she was like, it was open, right? And she had like a full bun up there with half her hair. It was like much more hair than I will ever have on my whole head. And the rest of her hair that was open was also like more than what I have on all of, like, literally, like, she probably has like 3 times the amount of hair that I have. It's crazy. I used to say she literally is like half her hair up and the other half still is more than what I have. Like, it's insane. The good thing is I don't need so long to blow dry my hair. Oh yeah, she does have a nice voice, yeah. So let me get my lunch real quick. My afternoon snack. In the meantime, we should watch a video maybe that is not about blow drying hair, but maybe about something WoW related. More tips and tech for Mythic Plus. Perfect. But that's actually a good video. Let's watch some tips and tricks. Hey, Thomas. My sister has super thick hair and it takes her more than an hour to dry. Yeah, that's a big downside. If you have a lot of hair, it takes so long to like wash it and dry it. It's, yeah, that part I do not envy. I personally am so fast with drying my hair because there's like nothing. But yeah, let's watch this video real quick while I get my lunch. Snack, afternoon, lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever
My
you want
last
to call
video
it.
where we talked about some tech and tips where you can play like the pros and learn some new strats. Let's take some time today to actually talk about some more tech that I've discovered inside the dungeons for Season 2 of The War Within. And starting off, we have some stuff in Dark Flame Cleft. Dark Flame Cleft is actually kind of an interesting dungeon, and learning how to do the minecart correctly is one of the most important aspects of improving some of your time and some of your speed in this dungeon. The minecart, what you need to know about it is that it has like a combat state, and whenever it's in combat with mobs, it'll stop moving. There are also specific checkpoints that the minecart can be pushed to as well, and it will kind of stop to make sure that you have all the mobs that are killed off, and those checkpoints are like, you know, pretty far into the dungeon. How most players, in my experience, have been doing Dark Flame Cleft is they've been pulling one pack at a time and just kind of killing off the mobs that are on top of the minecart. The best way that you can actually deal with this dungeon, though, is you can gather mobs like you see on screen here and run ahead of the minecart as the tank. Then, once the minecart stops in the location, or say it gets combated by a mob, you then drag all the corridor creepers and a bunch of the darkness mobs back on top of the minecart, you AoE them down, and then you rinse and repeat. And this will change your minecart section from around, 5 pulls to, let's say, 2 pulls. Now, another thing is the Candle King, and similar to what we're going to say about the coin-operated crowd pummeler in a little bit, is you can actually tank the Candle King up against the wall, and if all 5 players are stacked up against the wall, like almost on top of one another, it reduces the radius of which these candles can actually spawn. That will actually increase your melee uptime by a substantial amount. Now, you do get knocked whenever one of the candles spawns underneath you, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you're not getting stunned by the candle and continuing to stand in it, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
As some overnight oats, they're not good.
It's not really relevant.
I definitely should have put like honey or something in it.
The candles are going to
Tastes
be
like
more
nothing.
adequately stacked, increasing or decreasing the amount of people that actually have to put the circles on top of the candles, and increasing your melee DPS uptime. Moving over to Cinderbrew Meadery, if you watched the video that I made at the very beginning of the season talking about everything you need to know about the dungeon, I kind of glossed over the fact that there was an engineering buff. It has an ability called Flame On. And what this does is it says it strikes enemies in front of the caster, inflicting 1% of their maximum health as fire damage every 1 second for 4 seconds, and disorients them for 5 seconds. This is actually a pretty huge deal, and not something that I actually see commonly used in Cinderbrew Meadery in general. If you're a healer, in my opinion, with an open profession slot, now I know this requires you to have an open profession slot, but if you are a healer with an open profession slot, grabbing this engineering flamethrower is actually a pretty sizable amount of damage on a couple of the pulls that they are used on. Whenever you pick it up, though, it does have a limited amount of time that you can take to use it. So obviously if you use it on a hobgoblin or something like that, it's like super optimal, and so it just kind of depends on where you're using it. But this is something that, at least in high-level keys, you're going to see people having access to 100% of the time. Additionally, in Cinderbrew Meadery, the Bee Wranglers have a cast called Beezooka. This Beezooka puts a line on the ground. If you outrange or at 30 yards away from the Beezooka or the Bee Wrangler mob itself, it actually dodges the Beezooka cast, making you take substantially less damage, because the Beezookas actually hurt a lot. Moving on over to Priory of the Sacred Flame, we have a couple of mobs that you can actually dodge just by running fast. Chainmail and the Lynx are these two mobs that I'm going to be talking about today. Wow. Chainmail is the mini-boss that is spawned after you end up killing off Guard Captain Suleiman at the very beginning of the dungeon. Chainmail does an ability called Lunging Strike, and if you are, let's say, around 20 yards away from the mob, you can actually just like start pre-moving right before the Lunging Strike happens and be able to dodge it. A similar thing happens with the Lynx Pounce. So notably for Chainmail can actually be cast on melee, which makes it a little bit more tricky. But the Lynx, their Pounce can only be cast onto ranged targets. Now, the Lynx can also be stunned while they're in the midair. So things like Chaos Nova from a Demon Hunter, if you see that going off, or just like pushing them with effects like Typhoon, gripping them back with Ursul's Vortex, dropping a Ring of Peace or a freezing trap in front of you. Those are all effective strategies to be able to dodge. And
I really like the dungeon, but I think it's really hard.
Party. There are also some mobs at the end of Priory called the Risen Footmen. And whenever they die, they have a cast called Light Expulsion, which you don't actually see it's a cast. It's just like an invisible thing. And they blow up and do radiant damage to your entire party. What you don't know about these mobs is if they are CC'd whenever they die. So say they're in a Chaos Nova or a Hodge or something like that. Whenever they die, they actually don't cast the Light Expulsion cast.
Oh, that's very cool.
So what high-end groups are doing is they're pulling, a couple of these, like 4 of these at once with the 2 packs that are onto the side, and then making sure that they press an AoE CC right as some of them die. Obviously, you're not going to be able to like even cleave all of them, but if you even mitigate like 3 or 4 of the casts, that's a lot less damage that you're going to be taking just in general from those mobs. In Rookery, those
Good
big
tips.
mobs that kind of like pull you in and they cast that chain lightning effect on them. Yeah, the Void Diffusers, they have an ability called Arcing Void. That's what that chain lightning effect is. And the Arcing Void can actually be line of sighted and force the Void Diffuser to start recasting. Now, what's actually notable about this is the Arcing Void is actually a 3-second long cast. And so whenever it gets forced to recast over and over and over again, it's not actually going to be doing too much. It's just going to be standing there and no longer casting that suck, because the Arcing Void is higher priority. So standing there, forcing that mob to recast, or say you're potentially in a dangerous situation, you need to line of sight that ability. Those are some of the things that you kind of need to be looking out for, especially whenever you're in the Rookery. Additionally, after Stormguard Gorin, there is a pack that has an Ascendant and 2 Crushers. After you kill this Void Ascendant, you can actually jump down into the final boss area, and the Crushers will eventually snap to you. This, it can create a little bit of a tricky situation. I've seen some wild stuff go on with their snapping where it can potentially evade reset attack as they're snapping.
Ashley.
So if you take it a little bit slower and allow those Crushers to snap down to you, that's probably the preferred strategy. Just to make sure that they're going to be consistently snapping and not like evade resetting a bunch of
entertainment
mobs.
Too.
But that is a way that you can actually increase your
you
speed
saw
and Rookery
something really useful that you can buy now.
Floodgate has some new tech that some players have actually been utilizing. I don't see it used all too commonly yet, but I think it's something
like
that players are going to be starting to look to use in the future.
Or some
Bubbles is probably the most dangerous mini boss in all of Mythic Plus this season. With an ability called Backwash, it just does a lot of damage to your entire group. You can actually skip around the side and go into the water against Bubbles. Now, there are fish in...
I actively avoid products that I see too many ads of. I think it's so interesting because obviously, like, I know that advertisement works even subconsciously, even if you're aware of it, and that is so tricky about it, because I had some time in my life where I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna stop getting influenced by advertisement. I'm not gonna buy products anymore that get advertised. the thing is, you almost, you know, when you really notice that you get influenced is if you're buying something new that you didn't buy before, like a product that you've never bought before, and then you buy a product that you've heard the brand of. That's something I did once in like, I think I bought like laundry detergent or something like that I didn't buy before, but because I didn't have a washing machine, right? And at home, my mom would be washing my clothes. And this is obviously a while ago. This was when I moved out, or a couple of years after I moved out. And then I went to the store and I wanted to buy laundry detergent, and I had no idea about laundry detergent. Like, I didn't know what kind I need, right? So what I did was I went in and I looked at all of these different laundry detergents and I looked at the price and stuff. But then I ended up buying the thing that I've heard, that I had seen so many ads of. Or basically, I saw like 3 or 4 different ones that I knew about and a bunch that I didn't know about. And then I ended up going with the ones that I had heard before, even if it wasn't something that I was aware of. But I was thinking, oh, I've heard this one before, so it must be the thing that I'm looking for. Because, as I said, I had no clue about what I'm buying. So I was thinking, oh, I know that this is laundry detergent because I saw in the advertisement that it is, you know? So the fact that I remember that it's actually the thing that I'm looking for, I ended up buying it. So that was when I realized, wait, ads do work. It might have not worked for the most common items that I buy, because if you buy something all the time, then at some point you know what you like and you just buy that. No matter how many other advertisements you hear or see, you will buy the thing that you know that you like more, right? Or that is the cheapest or whatnot. But for this particular situation where I had no idea about any of the products, I went with the safe route, and I went with a product where I knew it is doing what I need it for, basically. Hey, Commander, what's up? Good morning, good morning. Every time I go to the Galaxia, I want to go to a real casino. That's some real subtle marketing. It's actually true. Like, this patch is totally like advertising gambling when you think about it. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, wait, shit. I changed my light, but this is kind of better now, so good. So, hey Smagol, dankeschön. Ich dachte, du kommst aus Großbritannien. I think a lot of people think that my English is good, like it's really good, but only if English is not your first language. Like, people that don't speak English as their first language, they can immediately tell that I'm not English. A lot of people actually can pretty easily tell that I'm German. But I'm trying my very best. The stream is a Tattles ad? It is. So, let's continue. Sorry, Tattles, I interrupted you.
That using an invisibility potion or using Shroud and being able to walk around bubbles is probably the most effective strategy. You can also skip it with, Shroud, and say you have water walking from like a shaman or a DK in your group. You can easily walk around this mob, but like you see on screen right here, invisibility potions and just not even having the water walking is also effective for skipping bubbles if you say don't need his count. He does have True Sight though, and so that's why you have to hug the far side wall. Motherload has a couple of tips that we can kind of talk about here. First and foremost, the coin-operated crowd pummeler, the first boss in this dungeon. If you actually tank the boss against the wall, it can actually decrease the radius of which the bombs are going to be spawned out away from the boss. And this is actually very valuable because then it's going to make it a lot easier for you to actually be able to kick the bombs into the boss. There's none that are going to be like 60 yards away from other bombs, and so this is just a pretty good strategy. Now, you do have to watch out because the coin magnet, if your tank isn't going to move Sorry, quick interruption. What gets me is that other people buy the advertised products and rave about it, so it makes you want it more. It can be a really good product at first, but the quality degrades over time and it just becomes brandy and people still buy it because it's all they know. Yeah, I personally do not like it. Okay, it depends on what product it is, right? But some people will be so quick
to like recommend a product, and I mean, it's not like I can't really blame people for recommending something, right? But I'm personally, especially as a content creator, I'm so cautious about what I recommend, because if I get a product, but I've only owned it for 2 days, like I don't want to tell people what it is. It happens so many times that people ask me, oh, what kind of headset are you using? Oh, what kind of chair is this? Oh, what kind of like blah, 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 right? And obviously sometimes you can just clearly see what it is. So I can't really like hide what it is. But I sometimes just don't tell people what it is. Not because I don't want you to have the information. Like I'm not trying to be like malicious, but I feel like I'm influencing people just because I own it. Because people somehow think, oh, if Naguura uses it, it must be good. Or she must like it or whatever. But that's not always true, right? Sometimes I just have a headset lying around because it was sent to me at some point. Or sometimes I try a product, but just because I'm trying it doesn't mean that I like it. Like it's possible that I bought it 2 days ago and maybe in a month I hate it, you know? Like, so whenever people ask me about certain products, I just sometimes don't want to tell them what it is. And then people kind of get, it's not that they get angry, but some people are implying, oh, it's because they don't pay you, you know? It's like, sometimes people think that because I'm not telling them the product, they think I'm like, kind of like fishing for another sponsor or something from like the same product from a different brand, or that they're just not paying me. But I mean, that's not it. I'm just literally trying to not like influence people without knowing that it's good, you know? And in my opinion, that's like, I feel like more content creators and more people should do this, even just normal people. When I say normal people, obviously content creators are also normal people. But when I say like if there's friends that you talk to about recommendations or whatever, sometimes like waiting a little bit before telling them that you like it, I don't know, right? Because what's the point? You buy a product and you like it for the first day, and then you immediately tell all your friends, oh, you should buy this. And then a week later you hate it, you know? It's like, I don't know. I think sometimes waiting before you judge a product is definitely, again, it depends what it is, right? Obviously, if you buy food at a local kebab place and you like it, then obviously you can pretty quickly recommend it. Unless you get food poisoning the next day or something. But I'm more talking about products that are something that you use for like a longer time or something. Hoarding all the good products, yeah. I do use a traditional mouse with my walking pad, yeah. And then I'm also really glad to like recommend products even if I'm not sponsored by them, if I really like them. Like the mouse that I use, it's not an MMO mouse, which I still recommend MMO mice for WoW generally. Like if you're somebody that can get used to an MMO mouse or already use one, I still think that's the better thing to use. But I personally don't like MMO mouse, and I just generally don't like having multiple buttons. So I just use like a standard mouse that has like the 2 normal buttons, the wheel, and 2 side buttons. And I've been using this mouse. I bought it multiple times already. It's like a BenQ Zoe mouse. And I've been buying it. I think I bought this mouse like 3 times now. And it didn't break. Wait, I think one time it broke by itself after I had used it for a while already. And then twice, the cats that I owned like chew through the cable. So it wasn't that the mouse broke because it's bad. It's just the cats broke the cable. Hey, Saint Mans, Imagine, what's up? How you doing? I don't think this is definitely my 3rd mouse, Gross. I bought this mouse twice, this black one. I know for sure that I bought this twice. I remember I bought 2 because I wanted to have a backup in case it breaks, because the first time I didn't have a backup, and then this is my backup now, so. Thank you so much for the 8 months again, Badgen. How are you doing? And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of like secondhand stuff, like secondhand chairs. A lot of people buy Herman Millers. Honestly, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I have never had a Herman Miller, but I still think Herman Miller is too expensive. Like, it's not a fucking car, yeah? And don't get me wrong, I think people that have back problems, they definitely should, like, it's worth it to spend some extra money on a chair if it's going to really help you to have less back problems. But then on the other hand, like, there's people that buy Herman Millers or whatever because they think, oh, maybe I have back problems in the future, or I should invest into this. And like, yeah, I agree and all, but I have been sitting in like chairs and playing video games for literally ever, and I never had back problems. And I couldn't care less like about my chair. Like, obviously, if it's like a horrible chair and I'm sitting on like a wooden chair or whatever, like, that's one thing. But I have all of these chairs that I owned, they were always gifted. Actually, there's one that I bought myself. It was a racer. I bought a racer chair. I remember that. But yeah, I had like different kinds of chairs. I had a racer chair. I had a, I think I had a Secret Lab at some point. Then I have this Corsair chair. I don't know. I had a bunch of different ones. And they all were the same to me. Mixnomic. Yeah, I had Mixnomic. They all just were kind of the same to me. The only thing that I really hated was like the leather, like the fake leather. I always make sure that I get like cloth covers because the fake leather is horrible and it keeps coming off. But I think that the reason why I don't have back pain, well, probably genetic, first of all. But second of all, I think it's that I'm just sitting straight. And that's kind of what I just was taught this when I was younger. Like my dad always really like reminded me to sit straight. It's just like a posture thing. Because I never even lean back in my chair. Like, this thing is actually just kind of useless. I'm always just like sitting in front. And I think that's kind of like a big reason why I don't have back pain. And obviously also like adjusting your chair to your desk and everything properly, right? I do that too. But yeah, generally I've never had back problems. So I don't know. For me to invest into Herman Miller when I never had back problems and I'm fine sitting on whatever, why would I do that? You know, like, makes no sense to me. And maybe sometimes, maybe investing into a standing desk would also just be a better, I don't want to say a better option, but that is also an option instead of a Herman Miller. Because sometimes like standing up, moving around a little bit, and then sitting back down might also like help your back. Like, back pain is something that has so many different reasons and fixes and whatever. So I don't know, maybe a chair is not like the miracle kind of cure for your back problem. Not to say that it wouldn't help and it isn't worth the investment. If it really helps you out, obviously it makes a lot of sense, right? But yeah, it's not like the miracle cure for everyone. Like, sometimes just getting a standing desk or, you know, sitting differently or adjusting your height or, you know, there's loads of things it could be. Trying to like to fix your posture and stuff as well could also help a ton. Yeah, one of the big things with back pain, I guess, is just generally being a little bit more active. Like, strengthening your core generally, I think, is something that probably helps quite a lot with back pain. You should do Pilates, guys. Pilates, miracle cure. But honestly, I mean, anything really, like, any kind of like sporty activity will kind of strengthen your core somehow, right? You don't have to do like core workouts in particular, but like even stuff like rock climbing, I guess, will by default require you to like engage your core a little bit, right? Any kind of like gym workouts, even stuff like cycling, I guess. One thing that happened to me when I started cycling is I ended up having a lot of like lower back pain, and I did not realize what it was. And it was literally just that my lower back muscles were just weak. And whenever you're cycling, you use your lower back a little bit to like kind of balance yourself on the bike, I guess. So you use your glutes and like your lower back muscles. and I was just kind of weak, especially when I was cycling uphill. My lower back was like screaming at me, and I thought I'm sitting on a bike wrong, but it was literally just soreness, muscle soreness. It wasn't like I didn't do anything wrong. I was just like strengthening my muscles, and once I'd done it a few times, it was all fine again. Yoga can help as well. Yeah, there's lots of stuff like this that can help. Yoga, yeah, for sure. Hey, Shazam, what's up? Or walking, like even stuff like walking helps, probably. I sit in awful positions and have done so for like 25 years. Most of the time I sit in chairs like a teenager, never had back problems. See, I also never had back problems. And there were times where I sat in my chair like the dumbest way. I honestly think a big part of it is just genetics. Like you can turn it all ways you want, and you can be like, oh, I don't have back pain because of this or because of that or because of blah, blah, blah. But in the end, some people just have like genetic problems with their back where like everyone in their families has had back problems or whatever, and then that's just how it is. You can do things to help it, but you know, so, some part is just like bad back genes, I guess. Yeah, people always said that to me too. Like, I kept telling people, oh, I never have back problems. Because people, when I used to be in my like full out gamer like period where I was literally just like gaming all day, every day, I would sometimes sit in my chair like all sorts of ways. And I remember people were constantly telling me, oh, you should fix your posture. Like, in 20 years, your back is gonna hurt and whatever. But as I said, I think, like, not to say that it's impossible that my back is gonna hurt eventually, but I do think I'm just blessed with a genetically good back, honestly. My parents also never complain about back issues whatsoever. To be fair, both of my parents have very active jobs where they don't sit down. Well, actually, my dad is a taxi driver, so I guess he does sit down quite a lot. But then he also, like, moves and, yeah, I don't know. My mom used to work, or my mom used to own a cafe, so she was like standing and walking around all day, which certainly helps for back pain. Or to not start having back pain, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people have a slight scoliosis, right? I think a lot of people that have a little bit of a misshaped like spine, they generally tend to get back pain eventually. Some people have like severe scoliosis, and some people just have a little bit and they don't even know about it. Like, a lot of scoliosis cases don't really get diagnosed until you actually have like a back problem, until you actually have like a disc issue or whatever where you go to a doctor for it. But generally speaking, scoliosis is not something that causes issues necessarily until maybe later on. Meanwhile, I didn't have my pillow laid just right the other night, and I've been fighting neck and back stiffness for like 3 days now. Oh no, Diesel. Oh man. There's this one time where I had like a lot of like neck pain and yeah, like neck pain and stiffness and whatever, and I had no idea what it was called. Like, I thought maybe I was sleeping wrong or whatever. And what ended up happening was just that people were over at my apartment, and people had been sitting in my chair, and they adjusted like the chair, which I hate, by the way, when people do that. Stop touching my chair settings. Anyway, so they did that, and I didn't really notice. And what kind of had happened was that a person that was sitting in it had adjusted the armrests to be a little bit further up, and that caused me like to have like my shoulders like a little bit upwards like this, you know? And it wasn't really uncomfortable, but it just caused like neck pain because I was constantly sitting like this with my shoulders up, you know? Until I lowered the armrest again. Another thing, and this is a very common problem for like smaller people, and I guess women, because we're generally smaller, is that our desks are too high. The problem is, if your desk is high, you can adjust your chair, to be the correct size in comparison, but then your feet don't reach the floor anymore. And then your feet are just like dangling kind of, and that sucks, right? So technically speaking, if you want to have like a perfect setup, you want your feet to be able to reach the floor flat. So you kind of want the desk to be lower, right? And this is not just a problem for small people. It's generally like if your calves are just smaller. Like some people can be somewhat tall, but they have like really long upper legs, but their calves are kind of small, right? Which can happen, I guess. It's a proportion thing. So if you're otherwise tall, but then your desk might still be too far up, and then you don't reach the floor properly. And the only way to really fix that is to either get like a footrest, or you can like if you get you can just get a smaller desk, I guess. Like make sure that the legs are smaller, but that's kind of hard to get because most desks have a certain height. But one thing that solved this issue for me is getting an adjustable desk. Like I have the adjustable desk that I mainly got it because I wanted to stand up and walk. But almost all adjustable desks, they also go below the standard like desk height. So if you have an adjustable desk, you can put it low enough for you to sit properly with your feet on the floor, which is really nice. So if you needed another reason to get an adjustable desk, there you go, guys. The dangle angle, yeah. No. Anyway, sorry, Tattles, I interrupted you again.
Because then it's going to make it a lot easier for you to actually be able to kick the bombs into the boss. There's none that are going to be like 60 yards away from other bombs. And so this is just a pretty good strategy. Now, you do have to watch out because the coin magnet, if your tank isn't going to move the
Yeah, you can also
boss
just use the
correctly,
footrest.
the coin magnet can suck up.
You need to make sure you find the proper
coins,
height or
but
an
tanking it against the
adjustable
wall
one,
is totally
though.
an effective strategy to make sure
Which
the
can be a
bombs
bit
are
annoying.
overly
Also, if
stacked.
you're rolling
Additionally, in
around,
the
you might be
final
rolling
area
into it and
of
stuff like.
Motherlode,
Footrest
you
can be a bit
send your
annoying.
tank ahead to get all of the bombs to
But they're
fixate
cheaper
onto
than
them.
an
What we've been
adjustable
doing is
desk.
actually bloodlusting this pull with like a double war machine. Realistically, you don't have to bloodlust this pull if you just want to do like a single war machine and send your tank ahead to get like 60 mines on them and then pop all of your offensive CDs from your DPS to be able to kill all those mines off adequately, and your tank just kind of kites out the mines. That's also a great way of dealing with it. Now, what you need to know about this is you're gonna have a lot of specialists. So
Nice,
I
oh God. I'm glad you like your adjustable desk.
You know, this is something that can actually save you a lot of time because now all of your DPS aren't getting chased around by a mine, and you can kill off 20 mines in one fatal swoop.
I switched from due dates to due dates, and it made me go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. You see, I used to just bedrot all day getting nothing done. And you know that feeling of anxiety where ticking off items on your daily chores and to-do list
What
is
advertisement
quite
is
overwhelming?
this?
That was me. That was until I was told about this one secret. You see, it's
The
called time
one
blocking, and it
secret?
changed my life. There are
Oh my
loads of
God.
articles and studies about how it's such an effective productivity hack, and tons of CEOs and high achievers swear by it. So here's how I use time blocking to go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. So I just spend a few minutes typing down everything that
This
I want
is
to get
such
done
a
this
long
week.
advertisement.
Then I have my
But I want to
deadlines.
know what it
After
is
that,
now.
Notion creates the perfect time block schedule automatically. By the first day of using it, I was able to
Automatically?
just wake up, look at my schedule, and do my work. By Wednesday, every task that I'd given to Motion was done, finished, out of my head, out of my mind, removing all of that pressure and anxiety. So if you're like me and you struggle to get done, or you just want to be way more productive, hit the link below, give the free trial a try. Worst case scenario, you save loads of time and you boost your productivity. So yeah.
Does this person know that ChatGPT can make a schedule for you without you having to pay anything? Or any other AI for that matter? Sorry, but the AI overlords are sometimes better than paid ads.
The first pull of workshops.
ChatGPT costs money too. I mean, it doesn't if you use the free version of it. Fun fact, ChatGPT knows your schedule. Yep. Does this person know that people have problems with the step of creating a schedule in the first place? Yeah, I think that's the main issue for people that struggle with creating a schedule, right? It's not necessarily the fact that they don't know how to like put stuff in their calendar. Usually the problem is people struggle to just think about, or like, it could be anxiety, it could be depression, it could be a bunch of things, right? But then just the fact just thinking about structuring your week or your day is the problem. So, and you will have to enter the things that you have to do. And even thinking about the things you have to do can be super stressful, right? So I don't think an AI or an app can solve that issue, unfortunately. I don't think it's that easy.
It's one that players have been looking at high-end groups doing and wondering whether or not they can do it. The answer is more often than not, you probably want a warrior or a vengeance demon hunter. Now, the reason for this is...
But I can give you a very quick tip on how to get all of your tasks done all of the time. So here's the thing, okay? So what do you do? Before you go to bed, when you're supposed to sleep, but you still want to you can't stop scrolling on your phone, yeah? So you lie in bed, it's past your bedtime. You look at your phone, and you see all of these things that you have to do, and you remember all the things that you have to do. Well, what you do now is you put them in your to-do list on your phone to do them tomorrow. And you get really motivated about it. And then you put you put all of the tasks in your to-do list. You put it there, you write it down, and then you sleep way too late. And then when you wake up the next morning, you go to work, you come back home, you don't do any of the things that you put on your to-do list. Then you go to bed, you open up your phone, you think of all of these other things that you now have to do because it was the next day and things happened and now you have more things to do. So you add it to the to-do list, totally motivated that you're going to do it tomorrow. And then you go to sleep. Then the next day, you go to work again. And then you come home, you don't do anything that is on your list. Then you go to bed, stay up even longer because you're now depressed that your list is so long. And then you put even more things on your list. But then you get motivated and you're like, tomorrow I'm really going to do it. This time I will for sure do this tomorrow. And then you don't do it again. There you go, guys. If you want more live tips, just follow my stream.
Is because Silent Sigil and Interrupting Shout are abilities that lock out mobs, and they just incur a lockout, and the bombs don't recast for 20 seconds. Something.
You know what I do sometimes? I do, in case you were wondering, I do this, yeah? So I have this to-do list, yeah? And sometimes there's so many things on my to-do list, and obviously the things that are on the bottom are the things that I was moving on, the things that I didn't do for the longest. Sometimes I actually delete things off of my to-do list, because sometimes I actually get shit done, right? But the things all the way at the bottom of my to-do list, those are the ones I dread the most, or are difficult to do, or I don't know. And then I add things on top, and at some point they're so far down that they don't exist anymore, right? You don't see them. You open up your to-do list, you don't see the things at the bottom, you just look at the things at the top, get the things done that are easy, and then you keep going. And then at some point, those bottom tasks that you have to do, they don't exist anymore. So if you never want to do a certain task, just put a bunch of other tasks in front of it until the bottom tasks are not visible anymore. Perfect.
Something like a solar beam or any other
Solved.
AoE CC does not incur a lockout on the mobs, and the mobs will actually recast once they come out of the CC. But what you can do is, if you're playing with a Protection Warrior or a Vengeance Demon Hunter, is after the mobs get grouped up, you throw a bunch of AoE CC at the pack. Then, whenever the mobs are all going to cast synced up with one another, you press Interrupting Shout from Prot Warrior, you press your Silent Sigil from your Vengeance Demon Hunter, and bang, you're going to be able to finish off all these bombs and put them on a 20-second lockout, which will allow you to basically finish off the
Put
pack.
text
So it
at
should
the
be
bottom,
pretty easy.
exactly.
A similar thing is also true for the BlazeCon room. So if you want to do a pull like that in the BlazeCon room, that's basically how you should be looking to do that pull as well. Now, you might see some high-end groups actually being able to DPS Cujo through the box. How do you do that, you might ask? Now, what you need to do is your tank has to get Cujo up against the corner of the
that one we
box,
already
safe
know.
on it, to be able to DPS. To get the boss in the appropriate position. After Cujo, there's a mini boss called the Blastron X80. It's that crab that shoots out the beams. What you need to know is that whenever the boss goes into the phase where it puts all the lightning on the ground, you can actually outrange all that lightning. Realistically, you should only be looking to do this if your healer also wants to outrange the lightning. So say you're a ranged DPS, you should not be standing out there on your own, because then your healer's not going to have line of sight to you. But at 30 yards, that lightning effect that you see from the ground no longer spawns. And so if all of your range are going to be standing far away and hitting the boss from this staircase area, it shouldn't be too bad, and it allows you to have basically 100% caster uptime. For the final tip for this video, we're going to talk about Machinist Garden and kind of how to play Machinist Garden. I've seen a lot of questions. It's oh, am I just supposed to really lock in, or is there any tech that you can kind of give me for Machinist Guard. What you need to know is that playing towards the middle of the room is always going to be the best benefit of Machinist Guard, and your tank needs to be taking the boss away from where those plants are on fire. Whenever those plants start to spew the fire, it becomes a lot more tricky, particularly for melee DPS to get good uptime consistently. And so making sure that you move the boss to the opposite side of the room for
He's
that is
dodging
gonna
the
be a big deal.
cogwheels.
For, again, playing towards that middle pillar, that allows the cogs to bounce off that middle pillar and gives you a little bit more of a known direction that the cogs are going to be bouncing. Because if you're up against like the weird angles of the wall, it's going to bounce off, and it can bounce at really weird angles depending on where it's going to contact the wall. But the middle pillar is always the most safe result. In addition to that, there are also 2 safe spots that are in this room. Obviously, there's the entrance staircase, but there's also one of the side doorways. If you stand flush against the side doorway, the cogs can hit you, in quotations, but they're not actually going to hit you. It's going to bounce off the wall before it ends up contacting you. And so those are 2 spots, particularly if you're ranged, that you can stand to be able to continue to hit the boss
near the mountains?
with better uptime.
Yeah,
and
I live
not
on
having
the
to actually
mountains.
dodge
I live
away
in
from
the
cogs or
Alps.
losing casts.
Dev
Now, you are
Nation,
going to
yeah,
have to get
I
back in the
do.
middle of the room whenever you want to DPS the plant, or whenever the flame jets are going to start going off. So you're going to have the hardest from. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Particularly if you're ranged, that you can stand to be able to continue to hit the boss with better than the mob.
Fuck! Why is it ads again? I was just watching so many of them.
Per piacerci di più.
What is this
Con
now?
Colli Star Futura basta un gesto per avere una pelle più radiosa e rivitalizzata. Colli
I'm not
Star
buying your
Milano
shit.
libera la tua bellezza.
Nuovo Knorr Asia Noodles.
Ooh, I might buy this one though.
Knorr Asia Noodles. Easy to love.
Mob, you can actually just like start pre-moving right before
The first
hearing
one I
buff.
missed.
Have all the mobs that are killed off, and those checkpoints are like combat state. And whenever it's in combat with mobs, it'll stop
Noodles.
moving. There are also specific checkpoints that the minecart can be pushed to as well, and it will kind of stop to make sure that you have all the mobs that are killed off. And those checkpoints are like, you know, pretty far into the dungeon. How most players, in my experience, have been doing Dark Flame Cleft is they've been pulling one pack at a time and just kind of killing off the mobs that are on top of the minecart. The best way that you can actually deal with this dungeon, though, is you can gather mobs like you see on screen here and run ahead of the minecart as the tank. Then, once the minecart stops in a location, or say it gets combated by a mob, you then drag all the corridor creepers and a bunch of the darkness mobs back on top of the minecart. You AoE them down,
I like
and then
this
you rinse
strat.
and repeat. And this will change your minecart section from around, 5 pulls to, let's say, 2 pulls. Now, another thing is the Candle King.
Okay, I think we're now ready to do dungeons, guys. What do you think? And we're also ready to walk while doing dungeons. It is time to get some steps in. So... Ooh, there's more keys up now. Nice. Maybe I can even do a 14. What do you think? They need lust. Yeah. Priory. Looking for priority key. Oh, I don't have one of those. All right. My NASA. Gamerstone walk. Oof. My legs are a bit sore. Not only did I ski yesterday, but I decided to do a leg workout today for some reason. It was a bad decision. Sometimes I make really bad decisions. And when I sometimes, I mean all the time. You do indeed get my UI if you subscribe to the channel. You do. Let me just sign up to all of these things. I'm sure somebody's gonna invite me. Maybe, potentially. Also, maybe not. So... Oh my god, now we already have remixes from Teddy Swims. God damn it. I'm gonna sign up to this key. Somebody declined me already. I'm just a man. Oh, there we go. Oh, really? Talantian? Oh. Yeah, for me, my rate frames, you can super easy tell when someone's dead because I hate, like there's, okay, don't get me wrong, I like it when the UI looks pretty, but sometimes things just have to be clear enough for me to see things fast. And if somebody died, that is something that I need to see fast because I can rest. And if I don't immediately notice that people have died because my UI doesn't have like a lot of contrast because it's prettier that way, then yeah. Q Simulator, yup. Right, so first perspectives where dead and out of range look the same is my personal hell. Yeah, I hate that. One of the worst UIs is the color-based health. Oh my god, I keep complaining about it, but it's so bad. Like, maybe plays with like that. Oh, it's just the worst. And Shaq also has it, yeah. Perfectus, yeah. I think a lot of like damage dealers generally have like a lot of damage dealers that have like no friendly utility. You know, like people that play rogue or hunters, like any kind of classes that have absolutely no reason to, like if they can't buff other people or they can't heal other people, they don't have utility. Those players usually have like the worst UIs where you can't see shit because they couldn't care less about how many other people are still alive and if somebody else is low or not. They only look at their own performance and they don't need any other information. So sometimes watching them is hell. And overlapping weak auras. Oof. Some racial first players have their weak auras overlap their rate frames, so you can't see the health of players because their weak auras are like on top of it. Thank you so much for 3 months, Antien. Appreciate that so much. Dankeschön. And thank you so much for gifting a sub. Thank you so much. Welcome to Gansa Prime. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you say Antien. Make sure you say thank you to Antien if you get a sub gifted. I don't know who it was, but I Lothar raid. One of our DD damage dealers, the rate frame UI was like 2% of the screen. It was tiny. What the hell? At that point, you might as well just disable it, I guess.